Good evening, students. In this session, we are going to discuss quantitative research methods one by one. So, what are quantitative research methods? Quantitative research methods are foundational to the pursuit of empirical understanding in various fields of study, providing structured approaches to investigating some phenomena through numerical data. As I told you earlier, which can be measured, which can be quantified, and which can be counted. So, this research paradigm encompasses several distinct methodologies, each serving a specific purpose in generating reliable and objective insights. It focuses on portraying the characteristic of a phenomenon. Description. It describes, it portrays the characteristics of what? Of some phenomena. Offering a snapshot that aids in understanding its nature and scope. So, let's talk about descriptive research in detail. Why it is called descriptive? Because one of the basic functions of research is to understand the nature of the problem. What is the nature of the problem? And to identify various factors that contribute towards the occurrence of that particular event. So, descriptive surveys are prominent methods of conducting exploratory research in the area of social science. It is a method of inquiry. It is a method of inquiry adopted in a wide range of studies in social sciences. It investigates facts about things in its natural setting. It is mostly for events of the contemporary period, extending to the past only in selective cases. These studies are roughly characterized under three heads: assessment, evaluation, and descriptive research. Meaning. What is the meaning of descriptive research? Why it is called descriptive? Descriptive is to give description of something, to explain something, to narrate something. So descriptive method, as which it is evident from its name or verbal term that we often call descriptive, it indicates, it describes something as exists. Description of something as it exists. We may observe some object and state what we have observed. Description. For instance, one observes a tree and states that the tree is a mango tree. I observed one tree and said it is mango tree. It is mature. The birth, the girth of its trunk is about 1 meter. Some of the branches are bearing fruits. Some of them are dry, and so on. Whatever I observed, whatever I noticed. Thus the observer describes the tree, whatever his or her observation was. But the observation may not be without motive. Accordingly, depending on his motive, he may further state that the tree is productive, that will provide enough firewood or enough timber which can be procured by felling it. In this stage, it enters into one particular category. Accordingly, the meaning also differs. For that, we shall discuss them differently. As for the method in general, we can say it is a fact-finding approach related mainly to the present and abstracting generalizations through the cross-sectional study of the present situation. Second, we can say it describes facts about opinions that are held, processes that are going on, effects that are evident, or trends that are developing. Evidences for stating or describing the situation will be collected from the existing state of the same. It is already there. What we are doing? We are simply comprehending and stating them in verbal terms through description. For the necessary comprehension, we survey a cross-section of the situation, and from that we infer about the situation as a whole. So, the terminology of descriptive research design is designed to obtain pertinent and precise information concerning the existing status of phenomena, and whenever possible to draw valid generalizations for the facts discovered without making any interference or control over the situation. Such type of studies are restricted not only to fact finding but may often result in the formulation of important principles of knowledge and solution of significant problems concerning local, state, national, or any international issue. Descriptive surveys or descriptive research generally aims to collect and provide three types of information. First, what exists with respect to variables or condition or a situation. Second, what we meant by identifying standards or norms with which to compare the present conditions, or what experts consider to be desirable. And number three, how to achieve a goal by exploring possible ways and means on the basis of the experience of others or opinions of experts. So, descriptive surveys collect and provide three types of information. First is what exists with respect to variables or condition or a situation. Second, identifying standards or norms with which to compare the present conditions or what experts believe to be desirable. Number three, how to achieve a goal by exploring possible ways and means on the basis of experience of others or opinion of experts. So, descriptive research attempts to describe, explain, and interpret conditions of the present. So, what is the purpose of a descriptive research is to examine a phenomenon that is occurring at a specific place and time. Descriptive research attempts to describe, explain, and interpret. Three things: attempts to explain, describe, and interpret conditions of the present. That is what is the condition. So describe it or explain it and finally interpret. What is the purpose of a descriptive research? Is to examine a phenomenon that is occurring at a specific place and time. Descriptive surveys or studies investigate phenomena in their natural settings. Its purpose is both immediate and long range. Immediate and long range. They constitute a primitive type research and do not aspire to develop an organized body of scientific laws. Such surveys, however, provide information useful to the solution of problems and at times provide data to form the basis of research of a more fundamental nature. Descriptive research is most popular in educational research. It provides a sound database for other kinds of research. Different types of descriptive research methods. First is correlational research, causal comparative research, case study, ethnography, document analysis, and analytical method. First, correlational research. So, what is correlational research? Let's discuss them one by one. It is a type of non-experimental research that examines the relationship between two or more variables to determine whether they are associated, correlated with each other, unlike experimental research. Correlational research doesn't involve any manipulation of variables or control over the environment. It observes and measures variables as they naturally occur. Again, which is the major characteristic of descriptive research method. It observes and measures variables as they naturally occur. There is no manipulation, there is no control. Its main goal is to identify and describe the relationship between variables. Its aim is to understand changes in one variable are associated with changes in another variable. Correlation between them. Let's talk about causal comparative research. Causal comparative research. Causal comparative research is a type of non-experimental research, or it is also known as ex post facto research. It investigates the cause and effect relationship between variables. This approach seeks to determine whether there is a causal relationship between an independent variable, the cause, and a dependent variable by comparing groups that differ on the independent variable. It does not involve manipulation of variables. It examines existing groups that have naturally occurred or been predefined. The main aim of causal comparative research is to identify and explore. Identify and explore potential cause and effect relationships between different variables by groups comparing groups that differ on a particular factor or condition. So Main aim is to identify and explore potential cause and effect relationships between variables by comparing groups that differ on a particular factor or condition. Next is case study. A case study is an in-depth, detailed examination of a single subject, group, event, or phenomenon. A case study is an in-depth, detailed examination of a single subject. You may conduct it on a single subject or group of people. It may be related to some event or phenomenon. It is a research method that provides a comprehensive and contextual analysis of complex issues, often with a focus on understanding the unique aspects of the case being studied. Main aim of case study is to gain a deep understanding of a particular case in its real life context. It explores the complexities of the subject, groups, or phenomenon, providing rich, detailed insights. There are two types of case studies. Exploratory. It is used to investigate a phenomenon or problem. Exploratory is used to investigate a phenomenon or problem that has not been deeply studied. It helps in identifying research questions and hypotheses for further study. Descriptive case study focuses on providing a detailed description of the case, including its context and factors involved. We will discuss each one of them in detail one by one. Ethnography. Next is ethnography. Ethnography is a research method that involves the immersive study of people and cultures in their natural environments. The goal of ethnography is to understand experiences, behaviors, beliefs, and social interactions of a particular group or community from the insider's perspective. This approach is deeply rooted in anthropology, but has been adapted and used in various fields, sociology, education, and other studies, other disciplines as well. Then next is document analysis. Document analysis. It is a research method that involves the systematic examination and interpretation of documents to gain insights into a particular phenomenon, context, or issue. So, it is a versatile method which is used across various disciplines, including social sciences, education, history, and other disciplines. Next is analytical method. The term analytical method, it refers to techniques which are used to systematically analyze data processes, phenomena, to extract meaningful insights, identify patterns, and make informed decisions. So, analytical methods are crucial for interpreting data and drawing conclusions based on evidence. So, students, in our next session, we will discuss each one of them in detail.